Have you read a story in the Draoithe Saga and come away with a classic case of immersion after effect? Let me guess, there are questions which remain unanswered even as the magic expanded, adding another layer to the dream. The grand desire to turn the page to discover what happened next ended with the last leaf turned. If you're asking where the remedy for the book Hangover is, you know the answer: read another story. But you aren't ready for the next tale, not yet. The dust needs to settle before you pick up the next volume. So you have found your way here. You aren't alone. Even the author can't get enough. As you hear this, Ophelia Key writes on. But allow me to offer you a possibility, a reflection on the tale you recently finished, and a way to revisit the story to ease the story blues. Welcome to the Draoithe Saga After Party. Warning, spoiler alerts ahead. Turn back now if you wish to read the story blind.
Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine a world where myths, legends, fairy tales. They're not just stories, they're real, walking among us. Our deep dive today plunges into Soul Dark, that's volume 4 of Ophelia Key's Mystic Dark miniseries. And this isn't your average romance, not by a long shot. It's this blend of steamy paranormal romance, magical realism, urban fantasy, all set in this dream world called Draoithe.
Indeed, and the whole point, the vision really of the Draoithe Saga is restoring magical balance, often like one couple at a time. So in Soul Dark, we're focusing on two characters, Kali Dalorance and Salvatore Le Clerk. She's human with his shadow gift. He's a Soul Dark dragon man. Very unique, their destinies get completely tangled up. It's this journey about duty, fate, and honestly, the really unexpected problems of finding your fated mate.
Right. And for this deep dive, our sources are straight from the book itself. It gives us a really close look at the world, the characters, the conflict. So our mission. Figure out how these two, from such different lives, get pulled together. There's ancient prophecy involved, a pretty nasty criminal empire, and this very specific magical requirement for love. Get ready for some surprising stuff, some real aha moments, I think. Okay, so the story really kicks off with Salvatore Le Clerk. He's not just any vampire, is he? What makes him so, fundamentally different?
Yeah, not at all. He's a Soul Dark dragon man, ancient, powerful, specifically a second order vampire, meaning he wasn't just bitten, he was actually created by ancient diamond dust dragons, specifically to serve the Velocian gods. But here's the key thing. Soul Dark vampires, they literally cannot function without service, without a purpose. They don't have one. They face something called the fade. It's this existential decline, like they just unravel. It's a huge burden, right? Needing a purpose just to exist.
That's a fascinating twist on the usual vampire thing, this like a built-in purpose drive. So where does his story start within this whole cosmic setup?
Well, his origins are in the spirit realm. It's like a hidden magical level of the main dream world, Draoithe. We first meet him when he's bound to Zanzar Ironwood. He's a Velocian woodsman, just about to become an elder tree. And Zanzar gives Salvatore his final orders, big ones. Go to the human realm, they call it the laying deal, find his destined mate, his consort, and then swear loyalty to the last vampire king, Leland Shade, who happens to be in Chicago. All of this is meant to fight some kind of unbalancing chaos magic that's threatening the dream.
Okay, so you've got this ancient warrior, purpose-driven, suddenly dropped into modern Chicago. I mean, the culture shock must be immense. How does he even handle, a cell phone?
It's huge. And yeah, kind of funny sometimes. He really struggles. Cell phones, computers, even just modern clothes, he's totally lost. But he's very pragmatic about it. That row house he gets, he doesn't see it as a home. For him, it's just a base for his hunt for Kali. It's all about the mission. Nothing else really matters.
And his way of feeding in this new world, it's also pretty pragmatic, let's say.
Absolutely, yeah. He feeds on, homeless people, maybe people wandering late at night. But, and this is key, he doesn't kill them. He's got this rare gift, memory, erasure, and restoration. So he feeds, erases the memory, restores them. They don't even know. He sees humans as an exotic delicacy, which is, chillingly detached, but it lets him survive without causing a big mess.
Okay, right. But how does an ancient being, just arrived in Chicago, afford a row house magic credit card?
Even better, actually. Salvatore can literally manufacture money. He creates gold. From the wealth of the forest, taps into nature's magic, and he converts it to digital currency. So yeah, he buys his row house, covers his needs, completely outside the human system. He's basically an ancient magical fintech expert.
Incredible. Okay, so while Salvatore's busy making gold and trying to figure out lattes, we've got Kali Dalorance living a totally different reality, practically next door. Tell us about her world.
Yeah, it's a massive contrast. She's described as beautiful but living in poverty. The Chicago projects, lives with her aunt, who has issues with alcohol. And Kali's dreams, they're not epic. Her big fantasy is just independence, owning a tiny row house.
Yeah.
It's very grounded, very relatable, even with all the magic swirling around.
And she's got her own power, right? This shadow magic, but it sounds like it's almost dangerous for her.
It really is a double-edged sword. The magic comes out when she feels threatened, intensely, and that often gets her fired. Like she threw hot grease at someone who assaulted her. Understandable? Maybe, but...
Not great for keeping a job?
Exactly. So she sees her looks and her magic as a kind of curse. They just bring trouble, unwanted attention. It's powerful, isn't it? How something strong about you can feel like a burden if it just isolates you.
It really is. And what's interesting is she's not really interested in men, prefers books, solitude. So when she does meet Salvatore, this ancient, powerful guy, what's her first reaction?
Well, despite usually keeping to herself, she feels this immediate, undeniable pull towards him. She senses he's dangerous, definitely, but the attraction is just there, strong. It completely goes against everything she's felt before.
Okay, and this is where fate, or maybe the dream itself, kind of nudges things along. Kali loves looking at these row houses, and she ends up admiring the very one Salvatore just bought, and that's when they finally see each other.
That's the moment. Their eyes meet, and the world literally goes off kilter. It's called a dream tilt, like the universe saying, pay attention, this is important. And Salvatore, with his ancient senses, he knows instantly she's everything. He sees her soul, identifies her as an untrained soul dark princess, connects her right away to his own rare kind, sees her hidden power.
But Kali, she's human. She has no idea about soul dark princesses. She just thinks he's hitting on her.
Totally misunderstands.
Yeah.
Thinks he's just another guy trying to pick her up, so she shuts him down.
Rejects him. Must be a surprise for a centuries-old vampire.
It probably is.
Yeah.
But interestingly, her shadows, the magic that usually flares up defensively, violently even, they're drawn to him, but calmly, non-violently, for the first time ever. It's like her magic knows, even if her conscious mind is saying nope.
Which brings us to that first kiss. How does that happen, with her being scared and him being...
Yeah. It's a huge moment. Kali's response is actually really passionate, surprises even herself. And Salvatore's joy is just, pure. Her shadows, instead of attacking, they actually wrap around him, like a deep acceptance.
Yeah.
But then Kali's fear kicks in, fear of addiction, like her mother faced. So despite the connection, she runs. It's such a human thing to do, right? Even in this crazy, magical situation.
And running puts her right into danger. She ends up trapped in an alley by that coworker who is harassing her, Robert. But Salvatore shows up, makes an entrance.
A very dramatic entrance.
Yeah.
And his words are just chilling. I serve the Volosians. The woman is my business. Let her go.
Instant claim.
Ancient authority. No messing around.
And then we see his real power unleashed. He transforms into his warrior form. What's that like?
It's terrifying for Robert, obviously, but probably pretty stunning for Kali, too. He changes. Leather armor appears, loincloth, spear, a knife, glowing with this pale violet fire. And he gives this fierce warning. No one disrespects a soul dark princess and remains unaltered. Just raw ancient power.
Yeah.
Pure protective instinct.
And he doesn't just warn, he follows through, kills Robert, but then brings him back. This is where it gets really weird, right?
Exactly. Super weird. He kills Robert, but then uses his magic to transform him. He becomes an undead corpse, a violet mist servant, and Salvatore names him Ralph.
Ralph. Serious.
Ralph. And later, other criminals, Gilth and Garbage, they get the same treatment. Captured, turned into these servants, bound to eternal service under Kali's command. It's not just revenge, it's fulfilling the laws of the dream. It's this bizarre, magical form of justice. Ensures her safety, binds them to her.
And Kali's reaction must just be horror. I mean, suddenly she has zombie slaves.
Absolute horror. Yeah, the violence, the whole zombie slave thing, it's a lot. But Salvatore, he justifies it, coldly, pragmatically. Says he's punishing criminals, making her safe permanently. It's this huge clash between her world and his, her morals and his ancient logic. Really forces her to see who she's dealing with.
And all of this, we find out, fits into a much bigger picture. Which brings us to Peter Elliott, pharmaceutical CEO, but also a crafted bear shifter. What's his story? Why is he important?
Elliot's the big bad, essentially. Runs this nasty criminal empire, illegal medical experiments, kidnapping, enslaving gifted humans, immortals, terrible stuff. And critically, Kali is one of his targets. Her shadow magic put her on his radar.
Okay, so Salvatore's mission, protect Kali. Swear fealty suddenly gets way more complicated. He meets Gentis Asmodai, vampire queen, demon lord's daughter, powerful figure, and she drops a bombshell about Elliot.
A huge one. Gentis reveals Peter Elliot is her fated mate.
Right.
Yeah. And she explains that if Elliot dies, it could actually alter the fabric of the dream, mess things up for all second-order shifters. So Salvatore, the ancient warrior, who probably just wanted to eliminate the threat, he can't. Killing Elliot would cause, cosmic problems.
And this connects to something even bigger, the unlikely king's prophecy. How does Elliot fit there?
It's pretty complex. Turns out capturing Elliot isn't just about stopping his crimes, it's part of this prophecy. The last vampire king, Leland Shade, needs to help his kobold mate capture Elliot, so they can bring Lucifer and death back into the dream. So Salvatore's personal mission suddenly has these huge cosmic implications, affecting the whole magical reality. Really makes you wonder about fate versus choice, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Wow, and speaking of fate, Gentis gives Salvatore something else, a gift, something that helps with his biggest fear, that fade. What is it?
She gives him a handwritten journal, ancient knowledge. It details exactly how a soul-dark dragon man or princess can set the soul of his or her consort aflame. Now, this is super rare info. Soul-dark vampires hardly ever took mates. So this gives Salvatore new hope. He can avoid the fate because binding with Kali, his consort, becomes his new purpose, his new form of service. It keeps him anchored.
Okay, so after all this, the violence, the prophecy, the zombie servants, Kali's gotta be reeling. How is she feeling about Salvatore through all this?
She's really struggling. She admits he's the only man she ever met who makes her feel anything but revulsion, which, given her past, is huge. She kind of longs for a normal relationship, but she knows deep down Salvatore is anything but normal. So she's torn between the life she knows and this wild, dangerous, magical destiny.
And Salvatore, he actually shows some vulnerability. We haven't seen much of that.
No, we haven't. But he tells her, very candidly, that he actually considered abandoning his whole mission for her. He was afraid of losing his purpose if she rejected him, afraid of the fade. But then he just lays it all out there. It's you, Kali. You're everything. The magic of the dream paired us. There will never be another soul better for me than yours.
It's just
total
honesty, total devotion from this ancient being.
And his proposal. It's not exactly down on one knee with a ring, is it? It's a proposal for eternity. Exactly. He asked her to be his consort, an eternal partner. He'd share magic. He could walk in the sun with her. She'd stop aging. Kali, being Kali, worries about leaving her mortal life, practical concerns. But he counters by offering to share the wealth of the forest, his gold-making power. Basically, she'd never have to worry about money or safety again.
And then there's that charming kind of awkward detail. They're both inexperienced in the way that matters for the ritual.
It's a great touch, yeah. Salvatore, centuries old, but apparently not in the specific way. And Kali, because of her past trauma, neither of them really knows what they're doing for the actual transformation ritual. They realize they have to figure it out together. Makes them feel very real, despite everything.
And in the end, she accepts. With a very practical, very Kali question, right?
She does. She sees the escape route from poverty, from danger, and she feels the connection. So she accepts. And her response is perfect. I hate dresses. Can we just elope? Classic Kali. No fuss.
So the actual bonding, it follows those instructions from Gentis's journal. Walk us through how that ritual works.
All right, it's very specific, intense. First, Salvatore has to bite her, leave his venom. Then they have sex. And at the moment she climaxes, he has to infuse her with this violet mist. It literally burns her soul, ignites it in a soul-dark way. Then her shadows sink into him, creating this deep link. And finally, she has to bite him to complete the bond. Seals the connection.
And when it's done, what's the result? What happens to them, their connection?
It's this profound fusion. Their souls merge, their minds link up instantly. It's overwhelming for Kali. Her first telepathic thought to him is just this explosion of feeling, you're like the entire universe exploded in my heart. I think I love you.
Yeah.
That's her big aha moment, realizing the depth of what just happened.
And Salvatore, he must be ecstatic. He's got his purpose, his consort, everything.
He really is. Profoundly happy. He's done half his mission finding her. And he's found everything, personally. The book says it's a joy so deep that he just wants to end his nights laughing in bed with his soul-dark princess. It's a really powerful end to this part of their story. Duty met, but also this deep, unexpected love found.
Wow. What an incredible journey through Soul Dark. We've seen ancient duties hitting modern life hard, powerful magic, real human vulnerability, and this totally unexpected love story playing out, all against this backdrop of big prophecies and secret fights.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
In a world where fate seems mapped out by magic, by prophecies, how much is really set in stone? And how much comes down to the choices we make, even the surprising ones? Kali and Salvatore's story, well, it suggests maybe the deepest connections don't come from some grand plan. Maybe they come from those raw, messy, really personal moments that nobody saw coming.
So what does this mean for you listening? Maybe think about your own life. How something that seems small, like a simple task or just a random meeting, maybe it's actually a turning point, could lead you somewhere totally new, unexpected, maybe even kind of magical in its own way. What could you find out about yourself or your world if you just leaned into the unexpected sometimes, like Kali and Salvatore had to?
We hope this deep dive into Soul Dark gave you a good handle on this really rich world and these complex characters. A bit of a shortcut, maybe. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and, keep an open mind to the magic that might be around you.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for your support. For more, visit opheliakey.com. Welcome to the dream. Sincerely, OK.